In this live, we are going to be reading Esther chapter 10. I just feel like my pantyhose is really holding me here uncomfortably. A bit comfortable now. My pantyhose was holding me really tightly, and I just felt so uncomfortable, guys. Now I feel a little bit better. I just loosened it. Oh, goodness. So just trying to sit this hard. It is so cold. It is raining outside. I'm going to be reading the 10th chapter of Esther, and it is very short. I'm reading Esther chapter 10. Hello, Gadolf. Verse 1. It has just 3 verses. Verse 1 reads, And the king Ahasuerus laid a tribute upon the land and upon the isles of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia? For Media the Jew was next, and for Mordecai the Jew was next unto King Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brethren, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed. What do you mean, Gadolf? So this is the end of the book of Esther. We've come to the end of the book of Esther. Mordecai was great in the land. He was ruling right next to Ahasuerus, and he was great among the Jews. He became very wealthy, and so did the Jews. So that was a happy ending. I'm not quite too sure what this means within my context. Maybe it is Adventism. Maybe it is Adventism. And Just Movement is Adventism also, but maybe it is them. At this point, we can just say that the hunger or the hunger and thirst for is not literal. When the cleansing of the temple takes place, it is not to mean there's going to be a literal hunger and thirst. The hunger and thirst from the temple cleansings alone is showing that um, food and drink is there. And so there's a lot of jobs. There's jobs are there. In fact, instead of getting less jobs, more jobs are getting created. So um, more and more and more jobs are getting created. And as a work continues at the cleansing of our bodily temples, um, it seems um, it's not about poverty. Poverty is not the issue here. It is not about hunger and thirsting for what to eat and drink. It is about um, what we believe. So when I saw the Great Depression from history repeating to the very latter, um, I'm just trying to fix the cord. There's a cord here. Oh, trying to fix it so that it doesn't like hold my legs. Um, so there's a Great Depression, and all of these things I predict they do take place, and they work in the cleansing of the temples. So I have shared all about this, and I think it is relevant also to just remember everything that I have shared, so that as we end the book of Esther, it is clear that there is some type of wealth that comes from this work, even if I might not know exactly who my people are. Is it my family? Is it um, Judah? Maybe it is Judah. America becomes great as we've come out of the captivity. It's Queen of Famine for America. America becomes great. They have more and more and more jobs, more and more and more money. Instead of the Great Depression being literal, where there's this very, very harsh hunger, there's more and more jobs, and the economy is getting stronger and stronger. So I think this is to encourage me um, to know that food will always be there, especially with just the work that God has called. And so I shouldn't worry about literal food. I should just pay attention to my prophetic understanding of the Word of God. So I have seen jobs circulated on Facebook. There's a lot of jobs that were calling for farm workers in Canada. Jobs calling for farm workers in Canada, and I think it is like showing me that jobs are there. So I am looking forward to applying to go to nursing for next year. And I also want to, guys, I also want to do the certified nursing assistant certificate. It's a CNA certificate. I also want to do that. It seems like I'm going to be doing it for fun when I do it next year, but not really. I think in the long run it's going to help me. But let's just say for now, it's going to be for fun, because I'm I'm probably gonna let's say by faith, I'm gonna enter into Lily and do nursing. And let's say then I do my certified nursing assistant certificate. I gonna write that exam and pass it, and I get my certificate. It is so beautiful. As someone showed us online, it literally is in a navy case. It is golden navy. It is really really beautiful. Say I go and write that exam and I become a certified nursing assistant. Um, I'm not gonna use that yet. So it's just gonna be for fun, but will help me in the long run. I'm going to be applying for a diploma in nursing for next year. And I'm gonna do that for 3 years. Then after that, I'm thinking of going into Boston College to study a degree in nursing. So that's gonna be lovely. Boston is expensive. It is expensive, guys. It's like $100,000 tuition per year, and I'm gonna be paying it myself. So I'm getting my story straight right now. I don't want to waste any time. I'm getting my story straight right now. I have my business, I have all of these things I'm doing to earn money so I can afford my education. And yeah, that's nice. I think that is gonna be very, very nice. So I'm looking at this company called Backstage. I don't know if you guys know it. There's this company called Backstage. I'm looking at that company, and I'm gonna be going there and doing something serious. I wanna do something serious. I can see modeling, there's acting, there's voiceover acting, and I wanna do something serious. So look forward. Look, I'm looking forward to, to this. Certainly, I can't speak English. I'm saying look forward to. Um, I want to say you look forward to that. Keep keep your eyes on the lookout for that. That is what I want to say. Um, there was a time I made a video and I was saying I'm interested in electrical engineering at BMW in Germany. Guys, it's just not coming together. It's not. BMW in Germany, it is not easy getting into living in South Africa. Like, I probably should have known, but I've been looking into so many opportunities. And guys, I am looking at musical chairs, and there are so many opportunities in second countries. So many. So my heart has been longing, desiring after. What about going and playing an instrument in Italy? What about France? What about Spain? What about Denmark? What about Germany? What about Belgium? What about the Netherlands? So, guys, I'm just so in love with music. I love music. So, I was like browsing through my videos and I was looking at some of my old videos from when I was younger, and I can see like two videos. One of them, I'm wearing a blue coat, and I was probably like 24, and I was singing a solo at church. I haven't done that, like, I wouldn't do that so often. It was like after high school, I think I just sang sometimes. I love music, really love music. So I have the project called Tarsha Singers a Harlot, and under the banner Tarsha Singers a Harlot, I sing, share my music with you guys on this channel. You can go and see all these songs that I sing. Oh, goodness. Oh, I feel a very sharp piercing in my heart. It is like in my chest. I don't know. Oh my goodness. My here. It's like a burped and then I just felt it. Oh, it's really tingling now. It was in 2016, it was 2015. We had a camp meeting at a place called Intlazache in KZN. And we went there as a group. It was for it was a camp meeting for Jeff's movement. It was like very special, but I became very sick. I feel a sharp piercing on my back now. Ouch. No, I'm could be dying. I'm laughing. It's not right. I feel it is painful. Oh my goodness, no. And so I remember sleeping and I had a very bad dream. I just dreamt and it just felt like I was in water and all of this water's like rushing in and I can swim. But in my dream just felt like I couldn't. So I wake up and I'm like, oh, I can't breathe. I was like, what's going on? So I'm crying and I'm crying, what's going on? What's going on with me? And I felt this sharp piercing. The one I just felt right now. But now I'm not sleeping. Just felt this really sharp piercing. The other sisters didn't know what to do. They ran, go and get our medical missionary worker. There was a guy coming from Botswana. He is a medical missionary worker. He came over and he assessed me. But the sisters, they are nurses. I thought about that later on. They are nurses and they're already in school as they've already finished a year level 2 in nursing by the time that's happening. But they go and they're rushing to go and medical and call a medical missionary worker. They couldn't assess me. They're like, what's going on with her? What's going on with her? But they're nurses themselves. Wondering. I never thought of that then. But then now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, hang on. But they were nurses. They went and they called the medical missionary worker. And he was like, my doctor, he said I shouldn't be eating fruits and vegetables together. And they said, and he said, um, they should watch me, what I eat, because I just like going and taking everything. And I took everything. All of the food was so nice. And it was worse because there was a lady who really liked making jackre. And so she made the jackre and I'm not sure. I think I'm a little bit sick with giggles. There are times I laugh because I'm actually laughing. Let's just laugh now. It is a sickness. She made the jackre and we ate the jackre. It was nice. I had I had a lot of fruit and then I had the jackre with soup. Jackre. So the jackre seems to have caused something with the soup, and having the soup mixed with the fruit, it caused some indigestion problems for me. So, oh, but the food was so yummy. I want to go and eat all of it again, but they're already keeping an eye on me saying, no, you can't. We can't give you. If you take fruits, if you take fruits, then then you can't take a jackre in the soup. And so I always have to choose in the mornings to eat the jackre and soup or eat fruit. Also, you can actually have banana with bread. So that is another thing. And jackre is like steamed bread. So that is another thing that makes it really lovely. You can actually eat banana with bread, so jackre with bread, and it's really nice. It's really yummy. I had that, and I wasn't sick again. It's just I just went through the whole CAP meeting, and then it was done. And but I have that as a memory of when I was sick, of course. I'm thinking about tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna be going live tomorrow again in the morning. The book of Esther is finished, and I'm thinking of finishing the studies that I wrote in 2024 and the studies that I've already shared on my channel, Queen of Amman for America, but I want to just reshare them again. So that is a Kaldama and Golgotha. So I did the Kaldama and I did go closer, and I feel I should reshare them again. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, Hamona, I'm going to share again, and everything else that I have shared from 2024. Then from there, we are going to start our 5 year journey into beginning to end of Desire of Ages. After the Desire of Ages, we're going to do So Great Controversy. These are two books written by Ellen White. And then after that, we are going to go through 1,000 years of revenge. I said it is 1,000, and 1,000 is a symbol of avenge and revenge. So we see the chaos that is coming from civil unrest and terrorism and wars. And we also see the chaos that is coming from God avenging for whatever it is that has happened. So in this instance, I have been looking at the story of the little monarch, and I understand that the little monarch from Egypt was protected by Rome. So Rome becomes a very, very important figure for a young monarch. So I can see during the time of number 8, I come in and I become a young monarch. And so avenge, God uses Rome to avenge. So and uses Islam to revenge. So that is the chaos that 1,000 years is bringing in. We are going to be going into that book and looking at the 8 broken glosses, 8 pieces of broken glass. There are many other things that we're going to look at. What does it look like when the state and the people are separated? Those type of things. Saddam Hussein in 2001 went and terrorized America, and President George W. Bush went to Afghanistan and killed him. But he says, even if you're after my life, you're after me to kill me. I have achieved what I want to achieve. You know very well that this is something that is a good in the world, that the state and the people rule themselves. They're independent. So he was killed. Having said that, after all, his activities was to separate the state and the people so that they rule. The state is independent of the people, and so the people are independent. And what does that look like? When we look at revenge and avenge, what does that look like? It looks like this. If there ever is a state power that has gone through any issues, they are wrong or whatever it is, the people don't have the authority to to persecute that state power. And so you find that the state will have its own ways of dealing with its criminal offenses coming from rulers in the state. and the people have their own way of dealing with criminals that are within their group of people. Within the government of having a state ruling a people to tell people what to do, to help people when people have gone through criminal offenses. It puts the state at a place where they can bully or they can do stuff to people, maybe in that sense. But you find the people ruling themselves and it is lawlessness. But you find stuff like civil unrest or and civil war is really extremely unwelcome in a country where the state and the people are ruling themselves. So that's what we're going to be talking about and looking at. Um, just to compare and see. Because I guess in the cleansing of the temple, there comes a time when the insects come in and they eat. And so the differences between these different states and which country chooses what, it shows the differences in which people eat. Maybe also when there's something like a lockdown for COVID-19 and all of these things are coming in, and then we go back to medieval age, for example, or go back to dark ages. You kind of want to realize, understand what does this look like, because like for example, I might not be aware of what it actually looks like, even if it has already been there in the world for years now. So that's what we're gonna be looking at from the perspective of the prophecy, as a matter of fact. And I'm Queen of Our Mind for America. What does that look like for me? So yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to that. After that, we are going to be looking at Black Pope, White Pope. So going back to Daniel's lost vision. You guys don't know Daniel's lost vision, but I know Daniel's lost vision. We are going to be going back to Daniel's lost vision, Black Pope, White Pope. But in this context, it is going to be within the context of Rome avenging. God uses Rome to avenge. So I'll keep talking over and over again about the wars that went on 2021 to 2024. The wars between Ukraine and Russia, and the wars between Gaza and Israel. Those wars don't end. So I'll keep sharing over and over and over again about that. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna be crocheting next year on another pandemic. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, guys. I don't know if the World Cup is in England. I don't know where the World Cup is, but there's a lot going on about the World Cup and everything. There's Ebola, there's malaria, there's COVID-19. Oh, I should go back to COVID-19, talk about the lockdown, talk about how it began in the lab or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna be doing a new pandemic every single year, which is gonna be amazing. Um, I'm currently, I keep looking at my chart. Is that it's like it's like I'm finding something else to talk about, but not really. I was just thinking while I'm looking at my chart. This is the 1843 chart I keep looking at. um, there is a lot of things I want to do, but it is just so discouraging sitting at home and saying, "Oh, guys, next year, from next year." It has been very discouraging, just even just sleeping the whole time. I feel like I'm lazy. I have been sleeping, but I found the other day I felt like I was really working. I watched a horror movie. What is it called? I've forgotten, but it has an Annabelle doll. It has a doll. So I watched the horror movie, and then I had a dream. I had dreams after the horror movie. I'm not paying attention to my dreams when I have these dreams after I watch the horror movie, because they're not they're not pure dreams. I know it's the spirits from the movies tapping in. God's allowed that those spirits tap in, and then they become messengers for whatever work I have brought in. So I already know that that avenue already has people there who are reading whatever it is that I'm doing. I might never know them, but they are there. Anyway, um, I don't worry on who is going to be working with God through me to do whatever it is that God's called to happen right now with these messages. The amount of power in the darkness, dark and wicked will below, is so great. I cannot, without a doubt, undermine that. But my trust is in God. I work with God, so I'm not concerned about that. Yesterday, I did share that I do my work and only about 20% comes back, and that is my blessing. I'm happy with that, my 20. So, added to the food and the drink we have, um, I also am grateful for the blessings that I get from the work that I do. They come as curses, but God uses these opportunities as something that can do something for me. So I could sit and cry these closed doors that are closed because of these curses. There are doors that will open up with the blessings of being an Adventist. Many and many doors were closed because of that. And now many of those doors have closed because of this work. And the more accursed it seems I become, which is my blessings almost in disguise, I could sit and cry. It is closed doors. It is opportunities I'll never get. But there are areas that have opened up now. And I'm so grateful to God for them. It's just I don't know them yet. but God is just so great, so gracious towards me. Um, and I'm just so grateful to him because I don't know these avenues yet, but I think he's very specific and just straightforward on his intentions for my life. So even in the same areas, I went to Wusu last year, and in my body, I was extremely sick. I was sleeping on the grass the whole time. There was a time I couldn't handle it anymore, and I could feel like there's transports and there's moving and there's vehicles and there's just misdirection. So I felt like it's alright. Misdirection, it is good. It is good, the misdirection, because I was being redirected. At Wusu, when I first arrived in 2015, I arrived as an Adventist. So everything I got in what seems to be very easily. As a walk-in, they were already calling people to come in, and I became a walk-in along with other people. And my parents are well known there, and they're Adventists. By other Adventists who are actually staff members there. So when they saw me, probably last year, they couldn't recognize me because the opportunity for Wusu to take me as an Adventist has closed. So the category that I fit in now is a category of where I am. So they can't take me as a witch. They can't take me as an Adventist. They can't take me as Catholic. You can name all these churches. They have their category also. And lecturers are very specific on knowing if a person's coming from they're saved or they are Catholic or so they know them as individuals beyond the classroom. So firstly, I'm non-denominational. Um, but I believe in God. And on top of that, I work my messages, which is in my messages in the side of this side, the dark side, which I don't enter into, but with my messages, it works. It just works. So I don't have a category, but I think there has been provision to include me in schools and everywhere else out of the category of Adventism. So I don't know where they included me. I don't know where they included me. Whether they said I'm heathen or they said I'm Islam or Muslim, so I'm not Muslim. And I'm not heathen. So it's like this one category that's just gonna be there when I am there. And then if my child or any of my children decide that's where they're gonna go, then the school will recognize them then. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm very grateful for the open doors, opportunities. Um, Next year, I'm gonna apply to go to Lilita. It's going to be the same thing. It's not different. Even at Harvard, it was hard. I went there and I was already Queen of Amman for America, but I had no name yet. And I had my messages, and I had to quickly just share that I actually have my messages, and I'm coming from Chess Movement. I was kicked out, and I think I am Queen of Amman for America. But they didn't know. I got my certificate as Queen of Amman for America, and they didn't know at Harvard. And I had to just quickly formalize, quickly get my my work together. In a very short time, 2023, I was already sharing Queen of Amman for America. That's the name that I'm going to be going by now. And when I register my business, um, apparently it is a firm that you have. So apparently that's what you have. So it's like really quickly when I'm getting forced to do these things, I have no choice. Not go to nursing, um, whatever I'm doing to quickly get those assets in, quickly get my life together, put things in a trust, get my lawyers ongoing, um, and actually be more formally protected than I am now. So there's a lot of that going on, guys. Um, and that's gonna happen very quickly. Next year, I'm thinking of going to Lilita, and they're gonna meet my category there, and and I don't know how they will feel about it, but they will meet my category, and I'm gonna be so excited, even just being there. Everything I'm gonna be doing is gonna go directly to my work. Um, it's gonna go straight to the cleanup, cleansing of Hamona, which is actually a part of the work of the cleansing of the temples of the children of God, even though they don't enter into that work. I talk about it on my channels and my business. My crochet business, actually called Hamona. I talk about it. But the children of God, the Adventist, I want to say, because there are children of God in other churches too. Um, the Adventists won't enter into it. And the Nethinims that will be coming from, that will be entering, coming after them, they're not going to enter into that work. So they don't know about the city of Harmony, even if they'll read about it from my work or hear me talk about it, but they don't enter into it. So if I can read a little bit on it, it is from Ezekiel chapter 29. I have to keep reminding myself, is it 29 or 39? 31 years old. I'll forget. I'll forget, guys. Okay, but I think it is 29. We have my teddy bears. Guys, it is so cold. So I think I love my teddy bears. 29 is talking about Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar goes into a judgment. I read about that and then I couldn't understand everything. So I don't talk too much about it. It is a little bit confusing. But I do understand the judgment on Nebuchadnezzar of eating grass because he's proud. And yeah, I think that's what it's all about. I'm looking for this verse. I'm a little bit sleepy. I have to let us run in my head. I don't know where I'm running to. I'm laughing so much, guys. So if I can read Ezekiel 37, it says, and if you can remember, this is the army that rises up. It is the dry bones that rise up as an army. So in verse 7 it says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied there was a noise, and behold a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live in the old place. I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, the Lord, have spoken it, and performed it, saith the Lord. So I'm just reading this now, because this happens in 2025. It happens at the midnight cry, where the people rise up as a mighty army. So that's probably what was going on from 2021. There was a lot of and move in that direction. So scary. So I thought it was just on Facebook, but actually it was literally happening. Now look at Ezekiel 39. This is Zogog, the Hermangog, the valley of Hermangog. To also think Hermione is here too, to cleanse it. And here is a verse now that makes me think there's continual employment. And they shall serve out men of continual employment, passing through the land, to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end, 7 months shall they search. So I read this verse and I thought it is the people who are working, it's the working class, people who are in permanent employment, who bury, who are who are sought after to bury the dead. So when I keep saying that President Biden should not have used me as a graveyard to should not have used me as a field full of blood to bury strangers. It is probably because of that, but I must remember, even when I work, um, if I'm in full-time employment, I am still going to be a part of the people who were sought after to bury the dead. So, so guys, I am sick. I just find this just love. It is a sickness. I found this in a movie in Denmark. It comes with with this guy. It comes with poverty. When you're unemployed and you don't have money coming in, this is how you see it. You get a little bit sick with insanity, and the insanity is supposed to, I don't know if it is supposed to, like, but it's a sickness for being poor. You don't have a job and you don't have, so this sickness that I have right now is sharing famine in my life. I am laughing a lot because there's a famine in my life so far. So it seems to be something that is calling even influences of men to stay away, and influences of babies to stay away because of that. But That's another thing that comes with the cleanup, guys. You start seeing all of these things where you are, and then you start if you are not a person who is interested in being independent. For example, I'm a woman. I could very well be independent just by getting married to someone who's independent and being a mother and a wife. But this comes in and it becomes very clear, um, the intentions behind the whole work of the cleanup. It's for us to see where we are and try to come up hither to become better versions of ourselves in one way or another. So I'm looking for this verse, and I'll have to go and look at it. Um, it is here, but for now, I think I have to spend a little bit more time looking it up. Anyway, this verse is talking about Hamona and the cleansing of the city of Hamona. So it is a verse I use in my business, um, my crochet business, because that's where the name comes from. So it is a year I started my business, and um, I only just earned through relatives buying my items. I haven't sold in a flea market, and I've been growing my business, um, my account here on YouTube, but there hasn't been a lot going on there. So next year I do want to go and enter into nursing, and that is going to be, I think, a great way for me to step up hither and be where I want to be financially. It's a great start, I think. So I've been looking at the um, movies from Denmark, movies from Scandinavia, Scandinavian movies, horror movies. It's very important that I look at them so that in my cleanup, the people can come and read, and the spirits can come and read, so the influences, they hear what I'm talking about when I talk about my prophetic messages. Um, and the work goes on. So I think it is very important that way. And I think so far, what has been killing me is is the laughter. It is the giggles, because that comes in and it is a sign of famine. So um, the famine itself, it always doesn't make sense, because my messages come in, they do what they're doing. So it's like I don't have money. And it's not just that, but also, um, see, my mouth is turning now, all of this going on. But it's all the cleansing of the temple. So I think a lot happened with me, but also, maybe because I'm not at a job doing 9 to 5. It could be the reason why I'm getting this insanity, and I'm sick with laughter. I keep saying I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm laughing. Um, it is famine, the laughter. And so I don't have an explanation for that. But me going to Lilita next year is not for the reasons of trying to prove that I'm not in a famine, because with my messages, I'm not in a famine. So that's where the miscommunication goes on. Um, the literal proving that you have money, literally, um, and the proving that you have opportunities. You can have money, you can do whatever you like because you have messages. That's the miscommunication. So the problem with that is because um, the people who don't have messages, they don't have the money, because when they're proving they have money by people seeing what they have, those things get closed. And I'm just telling you right now, um, being Adventist came with opportunities. Those opportunities are closed for me now. And it could be Adventism that is sending this laughter to try and say I don't have opportunities through them. So the work now would be, when I'm laughing like this, then people that have opportunities for me coming from my messages, or the people who come in and that laughter goes away, to show that I have opportunities. I'm not hungry, to mean that I don't have any open doors. I'm just going hungry. I can't go anywhere to go and advance myself, be a scholar and get grants, go into jobs and get employed. So that's what this means. But I think, to me, it is not offensive. It is just a measure, and I say it is a measure, though I cannot explain it. But with the little that I can, I try to show what is going on. So when I turned my face against Adventism and I was cut off of Jeff's movement came with opportunities. And when I was cut from Jeff's movement, those opportunities were taken away. So whether I contest, I should have stayed in Jeff's movement. I should be included in Jeff's movement. I cannot be included in Jeff's movement. Those opportunities that came with Jeff's movement of being eligible go to America just by being a future for America, for example, are taken away. I went to Harvard, um, and I opened doors for myself. I finished a certificate at Harvard, and I opened doors for myself. Within that point, I'm not necessarily out of American influence. So whether someone believes in the Bible, doesn't believe in the Bible, they are still connected with me, which is good, because the people that God is connecting with through my messages are not people who necessarily believe in the Bible. So that is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that I'm talking about my messages of toilets, and this might be something that witches that President Biden has hired, or witches that and traditional healers that President Cyril Ramaphosa hired when he was in office might appeal to when I talk about toilets, and that opens opportunities for me. Um, I can go into areas like, for example, I can work in government, in the public sector, and be in these roles that put me connected or closer to people who practice these practices. And God knows, trusts me to be very happy there. And it is strange, but yeah. So that is the type of thing that I'm talking about. And yet, if I was Adventist, I probably would not have been happy there. I applied um, in Durban to work at the Department of Justice. And I think they called me, I don't know, but I didn't end up going and working there. I would have been working there as a clerk. I would have been working there as a clerk in the Department of Justice. But it was not gonna be easy. I was not gonna enjoy it. Not because the job itself is not lovely, but because of how I feel I'm working around with people, and yet they probably are not doing anything properly. So that's what I'm talking about. It's like to suspect someone's doing this and someone's doing that, and throughout your life you're living with this thing that's eating you up. You get finished at a job, and you don't necessarily have friends as you should. But with my prophetic messages now, it is not to seek friendship. It is to understand that God is working to connect these people. So when people are friendly and so on, it really doesn't matter whether they're friendly or not. They are still messengers, and God can use anyone to do a work. So I don't have to be concerned about what God does. That's the least of my worries. But to know that I'm safe now in that environment, than I would be maybe than I am now in probably like Adventism. But Adventists love me so much. And that is a sign to prove that when we talk about stuff like 2001, um, they they included witchcraft in their work. Um, they wouldn't love me so much if they didn't. So that is something else that I keep saying. So I'm safe among Adventists also right now because they are also doing this very work in dark also. So that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. When I say I am laughing right now with the sickness of laughter, meaning famine. There's famine in my life. And that famine is to say Jeff's movement is not an avenue for me to earn anything in life. Adventism is not an avenue for me to earn anything in life. So, oh goodness, my back just clicked. I just like felt. I don't know. just, but goodness, guys, I'm just like, my brain feels a little bit empty now. Oh, okay, that was weird. Um, okay, so avenues to famine, to opportunities, I was saying. Um, and I think you guys understand now. So I've said a lot. Yeah, that's how I think about it. So it is a measure. I must see and know that I'm living in an Adventist home and my family are not my connection to getting a job, getting school or anything because they're Adventists. In their connections and their work as Adventists, they don't they can't help me now. So that's what it means. Um, I'm alone. So I have to navigate life alone. They can advise me, I mean, they're still my parents, but as I'm alone. Um, so I start laughing, and it is a sickness, it is not me laughing, because for now, I don't actually have a stable source of income. I just have a grant from the government, and I'm looking to go to Lilita next year. I wanted to get NASFAS this year. Last year I worked and I got 50% of my studies, but NASFAS rejected me. So NASFAS rejected me, and I didn't know whether it is because the network to my application was because of Adventism when I first got NASFAS. Maybe they prioritized Adventism, and also they rejected me at WUSU, and I think WUSU prioritized me for being an Adventist. So that is another thing that I wanted to share. So it gets a little bit frustrating once stuff like that happens, because from their side they're saying no, and they're saying she's not going to earn anything from us, and and that is expected, and I don't earn anything from them, from being from the side of Adventism. So that is something that happened, that causes this to happen. And from the side of people who are with me with prophetic messages or and so on, for from the side of the dark, they don't understand um, that point of view. Hi, Greener. Hello, everyone who's just come in. My feet are so cold, guys. Um, it is like so cold, and the wind is, I think it's coming from under my chair. It's so cold. So I literally have my feet like on top of each other, and I'm like just thinking, it is cold. It is cold. Um, so yeah, guys, that is my story today. When I tell it, it seems straightforward, but but in practice, it is not. Because um, to try and tap into all of these networks is not really easy. Um, the Islam network is so far away. If I want to enter into um, academia or business, um, I don't know their priorities. I think in KZN I tried to go and apply it is a factory, and they just said no, sorry, we are not gonna. Oh my goodness, that was actually me, guys. Um, I switched it off mistake. I actually pulled it out in the bowl. Guys, that was me. Oh no, I don't think it is good. I'm trying to step on the jacket. It's just so cold, and I just stepped on the remote that switches the ring light on or off. That was not good, guys. Oh, I could say to just live by faith. That's how I'm going to go. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not living by faith. Um, so it is very interesting. Almost I'm stepping on the cord again. The networks, they are a lot. It seems I'm a child of of the bishops now. It's like I'm a child of the bishops. Really, if I can put it that raw. It is uncooked. I say it like that. It is so uncooked. I say it like that. It is like I'm a child of the bishops. Very raw. Because who else is is my connection from just my messages? There's no one else except the bishops and the priests and of of the world churches. So I'm like a child of the bishops now. The churches in the world. They're the ones who are being asked to almost like parents being asked for child support or something, which is strange, but it is not in this instance, of course, even though I cannot explain how is it going. But guys, let us be honest, that is what's going on. So I did share the other day that when I was kicked out of Just Movement, um, it's like I just um, ended up not as a priestess and being Queen of Our Mind for America. I have to be a queen, priestess, and prophetess. So I come and I have these messages as a prophetess, but I'm not a priestess. The bishops and the priests of the world, they come in and they take that place. And I'm not a queen of a nation, so I don't have an army that honors me, and I'm not an heir to any throne. So um, that's where the kings and the queens of the world come in and they sit. So it is like I am a child of the kings and the queens of the world and the child of bishops and pontiffs of the world. There are so many, guys. But how? How did they give me opportunities? I don't know. How opportunities opened up? I don't know. Then I said, because now in America there is no king and queen. There's presidents. So it is like I'm dependent on the presidents of America and the bishops and the pontiffs of America now, especially with the captivity having ended and the captivity of Shia have started. So, guys, it is very scary because I don't know how to ask anything. So you can say I'm a gold digger. I have a problem asking. I'm 31 years old. I probably, if I could ask very directly men to do stuff, I probably would have gotten married a long time ago. But I have that problem. I seem to be spoiled when people see me singing from a young age. They say she's very spoiled. She's been singing from a young age. She does things early. But I don't know how to ask for stuff. I am scared of asking. So um that is the only thing I think that stands in the way between me and the presidents and the bishops and pontiffs. I haven't been paying attention to them. They have been watching me probably the whole time. I haven't been paying attention. I don't even know what they're saying. I don't hear them very well because I don't understand what they're doing. But I see them on social media. I want to go to Lilita now, and I don't know how they are going to contribute to that. I have been living here at home, and I don't know how they're contributing to that. Whether they are called to account for my actions or words on social media or whatever it is that's going on, I don't know. So that is my connection now, and those are my open doors. So from the point of view of being a child, now I need to look at the children of these you know these people are now my guardians. So it's gone far away from now being a brother's keeper. It's like I have guardians now that keep me, but I don't know them very well. So that is the open door. The open door to know them. I don't know them. Know them. I'll know them. So yeah. But they probably have seen already I am shy. It's 6 years. I want my own things because I can't ask. I don't have that mindset of people will do everything for me. I have the mindset of I do everything for myself and all of these things. I go and I get. So it started out, and the same President Biden is the type of man who's you say you want and he just gives you. You don't go and you get. And it was hard for me. It was very hard for me because I don't know how to ask. I don't know how to ask. So sorry, yeah, that is one thing. And then it's almost like now they are my guardians, but no one knows about it, and not even me taking caring about it. I do care about it. I do. I do care about it. I'm just not used to it. But I know I'll never be a trillionaire. I'll never be a billionaire, probably my entire life. Overnight, especially, I'm not competing with these men. But it is hard for me to ask. So that is one thing. So I said one time, it is like they want me to beg. You want me to beg you. You need to beg you for you to give me stuff. It offends me. Don't like that. But that alone probably offended the men. They wanted to kill me, maybe. I don't know. I mean, a man doesn't want to take me as a person who can do stuff. Like, even if it's little, so I just want to feel I'm doing something. Like I'm earning what I am doing. Even if I'm not doing a lot, maybe. I don't know what a lot would mean, but so it was miscommunication. We greatly offended each other because of that. So I found myself right after I just told people I don't think going for playing games at home, sitting at home, streaming everything is a drug. Then I find myself entering into that space and I was so depressed. 2021 to 2024, I was very depressed. I have a photo of me going to the mall and just thinking about my life. It didn't seem meaningful. I'm just sitting on Bigo and all I'm doing is just saying hello, hello to people the whole time. I didn't like that. I didn't. But when I started seeing people crocheting last year, I was like, oh my goodness, let me crochet. Let me do something that I'm gonna enjoy. It removed my focus from feeling like I was useless, sitting in front of the camera the whole time saying hello to men and women coming in, and only just gifts. and it made me feel like I'm doing something meaningful. I have a crochet business now, and I feel I'm doing something meaningful. I want to go to nursing school. Feel like I want to go and do something meaningful. So I just felt like I was very offended by that. I just felt very offended. But I look at the ladies who have come from all sorts of different backgrounds, especially in, and I just want to say, the billionaire culture, because I can see Indian ladies, white ladies, colored ladies, um, Muslim ladies, when they just come in and they're married to rich men. It's like you don't have to care about anything else in life. And I just came in 2021 and I just felt really confused. I was very confused. What is my life gonna look like now? If, let's say, Prince Faisal would get married to me, and I'm just picking on Prince Faisal, it could be anyone. But say Prince Faisal gets married to me, and then what would my life look like? Do I just sit and not do anything? And then I get the influence of being a nurse for peasants, being a doctor, going and working hospitals for peasants, going and working for bread, peasants. You already have money. Why do you go and do work? Just like so disgraceful. You want to touch these dirty things. Going and working as an engineer is disgraceful. You want to touch these dirty things. You want to do all these dirty things. So it is different values. It is different values. Yeah, it is about an hour and 38 minutes. And I think I have shared a lot. I don't think I'm the type of a woman who is too obedient. I'm not. I have my rebel side to me. I always just say, let's first state the status. What status? My status of being a traditional woman. And then we say, not break that status. Um, and I say I always challenge status quo. It is just realizing that my father, he doesn't believe in women taking up roles for men. He was shocked I was getting my driver's license at 20. He didn't want me to do that. He would have rather I don't have a driver's license and my husband drives me everywhere. And I got it at 20, and he felt not only am I getting it too young, I'm also getting a driver's license and I'm a woman. Then I went into school and he thought I was going to go and study law. Um, and instead I went and I studied science, and he didn't like that. He doesn't like me studying science, engineering, anything that is going to just make my hands dirty or make me think too much on these subjects that seem to be for men, like mathematics and physics and all these things. So he's just said I would fail the whole time, and I wouldn't finish. And then I went and I finished a certificate at Harvard, and I told him it's a programming certificate. He hated that so much. Even today, he denies he ever knows that. I say, that I told you that I passed it, and he says, what? All these things you do online? I don't know. I'm wondering, how can you even be doing that? He denies he knows that I did that certificate, and denies he knows I have those skills because they're for men. To him, in his opinion. And also that certificate I did and completed at 25 years old, so he feels I was young also. Then now I wanted to go to farm management and study farming at Stellenbosch, Cape Town. And he says, yeah, you can go to farming, so beautiful. And I just tell him about my interest in having a John Deere tractor one day, and he says, you're not going to drive a tractor. I was like, yeah, you can go to farm and learn how to garden, but you're not going to drive a tractor. You're a woman. And then he says, but farming is very good. And I'm telling him about nursing. And he says, well, he doesn't know a lot about nursing, but nursing is a good profession. And then he says, but it's not for everyone. You're going to be seeing dead people there, and you're going to come back and you're going to have nightmares and says stuff like that. So that's just what life looks like for me as a traditional woman. Growing up in a family, traditional home, with a traditional father and a mother. I find it hard. It is hard to ask. But that is the only thing that has been standing between me and anything asking. But there are times I do ask, and yeah, things go well. Sometimes things don't go well. Sometimes it's like all children, all young people. And now I'm an adult. I'm going to be an adult, a full adult in 4 years, because you become a full adult when you're 35 years old in South Africa. Before 35, you are still adulting. So 18 to 35, you're adulting. So I'm still adulting as a 31-year-old. Next year, I'm going to be 32. And by the time I'm a full adult at 35, I'm just praying to God. Just praying to God. Like, I'm not saying these same stories now. When it comes to, like, I'm just talking about advancing forward, growing even the more. There is growth I will see, at least in terms of financial stability, really stable by 35. And yeah, guys, that's all. I looked at what it takes to be a instrumentalist. I'm interested in playing the violin. I have the recorder, I have the guitar here, but I want to play the violin and play in orchestras also. I guess that's how I'm gonna retire in life. I thought I was gonna retire as a medical doctor, but the more I think about it, the more I think I want to let out all of my frustration in in the orchestra and maybe as a nurse in the hospital. So I'm satisfied. With that, I looked at what it takes to become an instrumentalist, and it's such a long journey, guys. I'm gonna go through it step by step. There was a time I was like, I'm gonna do all of it, 2 years, 3 years, just 5 years. It was like, but I don't have to, you know, I don't have to do everything in a short space of time. Um, it is a very lovely field, very beautiful field, very lovely field, and I think playing in the orchestras is going to be just so fulfilling to me, even if I'm working like night shifts as a nurse. Also, the flexibility that will come from being an independent contractor nurse is going to be so much more better. So, guys, yeah, that's what's going on. In 2016, I started feeling chills in my body, and that is because we were kicked out of Adventism as members that can work. So that door closed. Adventism closed as an opportunity in 2016, and all that I've been actually moving by is just movement. So the cold water and the coldness I've been feeling inside of me, that is very, very chilling. It is deadly, and the laughter that is coming in, the famine, the chill that I feel inside of me, that's like feels like a pneumonia or something, is coming from that. So yeah, let's talk about this, guys, and deal with it. That is something that the bishops and the pontiffs of the world, they warm up. They bring in to warm up, and the presidents of America, they also warm up. So the connection of having these opportunities with the pontiffs and the bishops and the um, presidents of America is to be warm and also to be healthy. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know how it works, but I'm happy. Just yeah, God would not make a mistake. Like yeah, just happy. I think that's all that I should share about my health. I don't know every single thing, but I think up until that point, everything was everything has been dealt with now. We have spoken about everything, everything. So, guys, tomorrow we are going to be talking about the other messages, and hopefully now we can close this casket of Adventism and just movement. And when we are talking of the messages, which is talking about what has happened, but not from the point of view of um, coming with the solution of where I am right now. It's almost like not talking about where I am right now and trying to understand that. It's almost like just talking about what has happened and what the messages mean, according to what I understand. And yeah, I think I shared where I want to be next year onwards, and what has happened with Adventism Redress Movement, which has affected my health and my financial stability, which ultimately is now affecting my mental stability as I talk about how I'm just laughing and it is a sickness. So that is that, guys. It has nothing to do with me going to Harvard to study a certificate, because that also comes in and it seems like it's added to prove that that certificate is not, um, it is doesn't give jobs and so on. It has nothing to do with that. This has to do with believing in something and getting, going out to certain opportunities and understanding where now I belong, with what I am doing and where I am now. So yeah, guys, it's so serious. If you can hear, um, it is painful and so serious. So yeah. Anyway, goodbye, guys. I hope to see you in the next live.